Hey guys, I'm Big Red Magic, and I just realized that I haven't really taught any basics on this channel, like basics to do all this stuff. So that's what this video is going to be for. It's going to be just like Charlier cut. I might do a revolution cut. Maybe some fans. I don't know. I'm thinking of this as I go along. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so for the first cut, it's just going to be a swing cut. This is literally as basic as I can make it. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to have not your like ideal like this. So whichever hand you deal with, and it's called a biddle grip, but if you don't know, it's ring and middle finger on the top of the deck, thumb on the bottom. And basically you're just going to peel off a packet, swing it over, and grab it. That's basically the swing cut, and you can do this over and over till you run out of deck. So, biddle grip, peel, swing. And swing, and swing, and swing. And that's it. Okay, so the next cut is the swivel cut, or some people call it the pivot cut. And so basically it's biddle grip again. You're going to do the same thing for swing cut, but instead you're going to take your index finger, the pointer, and you're going to send it to the bottom and swivel. And this can be done just like the swing cut. So swing cut, swivel cut. Okay, so once you've taken the many years to get down the swing and swivel cut, next we go on to the most basic one-handed cut, which is this. It's just one cut, but one-handed, so I can do whatever I want. I can I don't know. Woo! Anyway, what you're gonna do is get your hand in straddle grip, which is like pinky and index finger holding the top and bottom, and your ring and middle on the sides. And basically this keeps it so you can hold it like this. Like you don't need your thumb to hold it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your thumb on the side. You're going to drop about half. Grab your index finger. Tip it up, hold it with your thumb, make that top packet slide down, and close it. So one more time, straddle grip, drop, push up, down, close. And the way I learned this was I literally did this for like an hour and a half until I got it down. Just over and over. Other than the swing and swivel, you probably won't get these within 10 minutes. Yeah, like I said, this took me just an hour of doing this over and over until I got it down. This is more advanced than the last two cuts, but it's kind of showy-offy because I make English. And that's it. Alright, so after you've gotten the Charlier cut or the one-handed cut, this is like the easy one-handed cut. This is the more advanced, the revolution cut. Because basically you're doing a one-handed cut, but you're adding a 180 to that one-handed cut. And I have pretty big hands, so this one came fairly easy to me, but if you're like a girl, not being sexist, but if you have small hands, this might be a little more tricky, because what you almost have to do is you have to have two decks. You've got to be able to fit two decks in your hand. And basically what you're going to do is one-handed up until there, And you want to ignore your middle finger throughout this whole thing. Like, forget about the bird. Don't be offensive. But what you're going to want to do is you want to take your index finger and move it over here. So you have these 3 fingers over here and the pinky on the side. Ignore the middle finger, I don't know, flip someone off. You're going to want to take your ring finger, slide it under, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Slide it under here. Grab it between your index and ring, spin, drop your index finger, and close it. This one I got maybe in like an hour to 2 hours of just doing this. Not all at once like the Charlier cut, but like over time I just do this. Like in some of my older videos I would do this because I was learning this. And so yeah, this is a more advanced one-handed cut, and I don't know if people with small hands can even like do it. But yeah, it's a revolutionary cut. This is the hardest cut that I've seen, and I still haven't gotten it all the way down. It is called the Triple Charlier cut. It is one of the only 3-packet cuts that I've ever seen done with one hand. And basically, you literally, like, I can barely do it, and because you got to be able to stretch your arms out that far, or your hands, my bad. I still haven't gotten it down, and I've been working on this for like weeks. But basically what you're going to do is start off in a Charlier, and you want to take your index finger and peel off about half of the packet you're still holding up, and you're going to want to let it slide down your index finger until it gets all the way down. And like that, it will fall out. Like mine still fall out. So, Charlier, peel off, slide it down, push it in, and do a Charlier. This is extremely hard to do slowly. This is the hardest one-handed cut I know. There are others by like Dan and Dave where they like get, I've seen like 4-packet one-handed cuts, and I have those people are like gods with cards or something. But yeah, so Charlier, let's try that again. Charlier, peel off, slide that top packet, push it in, and Charlier. And this one will literally probably take you the longest out of all the other one-handed cuts. So yeah. Alrighty, now I'm going to show you how to do fans. Which fans are a pretty they're a pretty way to like tell somebody to pick a card like this. And first I'll do a thumb fan, then I'll do a one-handed fan. What you want to do is you want to take whichever hand you're more comfortable with, and you're going to take the deck and sort of pinch it between your thumb and your index and middle finger, and you want to have it at an angle. Like if your hand is like horizontal, you want to have it like at an angle, pointing, like for left-handed people be pointing that way, for right-handed people be pointing that way. And what you want to do from there is you want to take your thumb, since this is called a thumb fan, and you just want to pivot around your thumb. So it's speed. It's called a thumb fan, but I do mine with my index finger just because it feels more comfortable. Do it with I don't know if you're a pinky man. Yeah, so pinch it at an angle, like on a corner. You want to pinch it on a corner, and then just pivot. And this one took me maybe a week to a week and a half to perfect. And if you get like a brand new deck of cards, like this deck is only like a week old, so it's still fairly slippery. So the best way to learn is get a new deck first and then do it with it. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you the one-handed fan. So what you want to do is, you can do a full deck one-handed fan, which is hard for me. Or you can do like a few cards or half the deck. And what you want to do is you want to get like a straddle grip, but you want to put it on the top, like on the vertical side of the deck. And what I do is I'll break off like about half, and you get ready, you tuck your thumb in, like aim for the corner in between your pinky and your ring finger, and you want to pivot up, and while you pivot up you want to move your index finger out of the way and just spread it. This is hard to do slowly. So like half the deck, tuck down, move your index finger and spread. And this is good if you like want to keep the bottom card in a magic trick. You can just take off and say pick a card, and then they'll be focused on this and not here. So this is good. This one's good for magic tricks if you're wanting to keep the bottom card the same, or like the bottom half of the deck. And you can do this in both hands. I'm not very good in my left hand, but you can like have two people pick a card if you have a trick like that. And yeah, that's a one-handed fan, or when you get really good you can like do a smear fan. So yeah. Alright, so the next thing is going to be pivoting a card. And basically, you're going to have your hand in middle grip, or middle and index on top, thumb on the bottom. And you're going to want to have your index finger somewhere in the middle, and you're just going to want to push, and it'll pivot around your middle finger. This is also one that's good if you have a newer deck. You can use this. It's easier to slide. And that's what I use for the spider worm. It's a pivot. So yeah, middle grip, index finger, push, and pivot. This is probably, other than the swing cut, this is probably the easiest move in Cardistry. Took me maybe 10 minutes to get it down perfectly. So yeah.